They walked in quietly, for friends with nervous smiles, holding on to one another as if the strength of their bond could carry them through. The crowd barely reacted at first. Another group, another audition. But when the lights dimmed and the first chord played, the atmosphere changed instantly. It was as if time itself paused to listen. Their voices intertwined in perfect harmony, deep, rich, and raw. One voice soared high, trembling with emotion, while another grounded it with warmth. Together they created something magnetic, a sound that felt both powerful and fragile at once. The camera panned to the judges. Their eyes widened, eyebrows raised, the usual skepticism replaced by awe. In the audience, someone whispered, "They sound like one soul." The judges leaned forward, completely drawn in. Each verse told a story of struggle and hope, of four friends chasing one dream, standing together against doubt. You could see it in their faces. This wasn't just about winning. It was about proving something to themselves. As the song built toward the chorus, the lighting intensified, flooding the stage in golden hues. The friends exchanged quick glances, tiny nods of trust. Their harmonies lifted higher, the melody overflowing with emotion. One of them stepped forward for a solo, his voice cracking slightly under the weight of feeling. Instead of breaking the moment, it made it even more real. The audience felt every tremor, every word. By the second chorus, people were on their feet. A judge covered her mouth in disbelief. Another leaned back, shaking his head, smiling in admiration. The crowd was no longer just watching, they were part of it. Then came the bridge, soft, haunting, a single voice echoing against the vast hall. It told a story of losing faith and finding it again through friendship. The others joined in, layering harmonies that shimmered with emotion. Tears glistened across faces in the audience. A few even clasped hands, moved by the sincerity on stage. As the final note approached, the lights dimmed to a single spotlight. For voices merged into one pure, breathtaking sound. A note held so perfectly it seemed to hang in the air forever. When it finally faded, the silence that followed was deafening. And then explosion. Applause thundered across the hall. Cheers echoed. The judges rose to their feet in unison. The camera caught their faces. Astonishment, admiration, pride. One judge slammed the button in front of him. The golden confetti burst into the air. The four friends looked at each other, disbelief written across their faces. They hugged tightly as the glitter rained down, overcome with joy and emotion. Backstage, they couldn't stop laughing and crying at the same time. "We did it," one of them whispered. "Together." The moment was more than victory. It was validation that their journey, every late-night rehearsal and every setback, had been worth it. Later, interviews revealed that these four had been singing together since childhood, small gigs, weddings, street performances. They'd promised each other to keep going, no matter how long it took. And tonight, they finally got their moment. The video of their performance went viral within hours. People all around the world commented, calling it the performance of the year, pure magic, friendship in music form. It wasn't about perfection, it was about heart. Even weeks later, the clip continued to trend. Fans replayed the moment the golden confetti fell, over and over, inspired by the courage and connection those four friends showed on stage. Backstage moments before they went on, the four friends stood in a tight circle, hands joined. The noise from the audience was muffled behind the heavy curtain. One of them, the youngest, whispered, "No matter what happens, we stay together." They nodded, a simple promise that carried the weight of years spent dreaming of this very night. They had grown up in the same small town, where open fields met cracked sidewalks, and where music was their escape. They used to sing under the same streetlight after school, blending voices while traffic hummed in the distance. Those early harmonies were messy, imperfect, but they had soul. Every performance after that, every local show and competition, was a step closer to this moment on the world's biggest stage. As the stage manager gave the signal, their hearts raced. The curtain opened, and blinding light poured in. The audience appeared as a sea of shadows and anticipation. Cameras zoomed in as they took their first step forward. One of them caught sight of the judges, four familiar faces who had seen it all. For a brief second, nerves threatened to break their confidence. Then, one friend gave a quick, reassuring smile, and that was enough. The first note rang out like a heartbeat. It wasn't just a sound. It was the beginning of something magical. The crowd fell into silence almost immediately. The harmony that followed was breathtaking. Rich, layered, and impossibly clean. Every chord resonated with emotion, weaving stories of loss, loyalty, and hope. The audience could feel that these weren't just four singers. They were a single voice split across four hearts. As the song continued, the camera caught flashes of emotion. A mother in the front row wiping tears, a young boy watching in awe, and one of the judges whispering something to another, both smiling, clearly impressed. Each lyric carried a story, drawn from their real lives. The song they chose wasn't random. It was one they had written together after losing someone close, a tribute to the friend who first taught them to believe in music. Halfway through, something powerful happened. The music softened, and only one voice remained. Trembled slightly, raw, unfiltered emotion. The crowd leaned forward, sensing the vulnerability. Then, one by one, the others joined in, creating a harmony that lifted the moment from sorrow to triumph. It was more than singing, it was storytelling through sound. As the bridge built up, lights shifted from deep blue to radiant gold, symbolizing transformation. Their faces glowed in the warm hue, sweat glistening, eyes closed in concentration. The cameraman panned to capture the emotion, fingers trembling on the microphone, lips quivering mid-note. You could almost feel the pulse of their hearts in every vibration of sound. The final chorus hit with full force. The lead singer leaned back, voice soaring higher than ever, while the others layered harmonies beneath him like waves of light. The stage vibrated with sound, not loud, but powerful enough to move everyone present. When the song ended, they froze for a heartbeat, afraid to break the silence that followed. Then came the eruption. The entire hall exploded into cheers. The judges stood up one by one, clapping above their heads. The oldest judge, known for his harsh critiques, actually smiled. That, he said into the mic, was perfection born out of friendship. The friends stared in disbelief, then broke into laughter, hugging each other tightly. The confetti shot into the air, golden flakes falling like blessings from above. Their eyes filled with tears, and the audience shouted their names. One of them covered his face, overwhelmed, whispering, "We did it! We really did it." Backstage, producers rushed in with microphones and cameras. Everyone wanted to capture the moment. Their trembling voices, their tears, their joy. "We've been through everything together," one of them said. "We sang in the rain, in empty halls, in the streets, and now here." Another added, "This isn't just a win. This is proof that you can start anywhere and still reach the world if you have each other." The clip went viral within hours. Social media flooded with reactions. "Pure goosebumps. Music like this reminds me what love sounds like. They should win the whole competition." The video reached millions of views overnight. People across the globe replayed the performance, studying every moment. The trembling start, the breathtaking chorus, the golden confetti. Fan edits appeared online, highlighting each singer's solo moments. Viewers compared their harmonies to legendary groups. But what made it unforgettable wasn't just the sound. It was the emotion that lingered after the final note. Weeks later, during a live interview, one of the judges recalled the performance. "You could feel something special," he said. "It wasn't about technical perfection. It was about connection. That's what music should be. Something that makes strangers feel like family for 3 minutes." The friends continued to perform together, now with the confidence of artists who had touched hearts. They began writing original songs inspired by their journey. One of those songs, released later that year, became a top-streamed hit, dedicated to their fans who had supported them since that fateful night. In one behind-the-scenes documentary, footage showed them rehearsing in a dimly lit studio. Their laughter echoed between takes, At one point, they stopped singing and simply sat in silence, listening to the playback. "Can you believe this?" One whispered. "All those nights we thought it was over, and now the world is listening." That moment encapsulated everything their story stood for: resilience, unity, and the magic of believing when no one else does. The legacy of that first performance lived on. Even years later, talent show montages included their clip as one of the most emotional group auditions of all time. Reaction channels on YouTube replayed it with titles like, "Still gives me goosebumps after 3 years." Fans would comment things like, "I watch this whenever I need hope," because sometimes music isn't just heard, it's felt. Musical Note subscribe for more emotional song stories, heart-stopping performances, and moments that remind us why music truly connects us all.